Hello guys, welcome back to a new episode of Butts and Mates, episode 6. Today, I'm going to be ranking all the 3D Mario games with a fellow friend. Please say welcome to Mudkipp.
Hello, thank you for having me on today.
It's good to have you on, mate.
Yes, it's good to be on. I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe we should just get started. But before we begin, I just want to say this is our opinion, just so we don't get mad, especially since the first one that's on the list is going to be Mario Sunshine at rank 8.
Yep.
And before we begin, we have not played Mario 64 DS, so sorry about that. I don't have the games, and the DS is an old game, and I don't have it anymore, so sorry about that. So it's only going to be every other Mario 3D game.
Yep.
But at number 8, we have Mario Sunshine. Now, when we discussed this, we've both kind of agreed upon this immediately, which was funny.
Yep.
Because there are a lot of people who love Sunshine.
There is.
What do you think about the game in general?
I mean, I've not really played too much of it. From the time that I did play it, at first I thought, oh, this is a pretty fun game. The controls are fine, I like the movement. But as I kept on playing, I found it a bit more difficult to, play. And then, the bosses that I was going up against, I just couldn't get used to it. So, for me, the main thing that put this so low is just the controls, pretty much.
Yeah, it's always good to remember the history of Mario, because right after Mario 64, how do you follow up on that? Because it was such a revolutionary game.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that they seemed to focus a lot on was the environment. It's the only game, I think, in the entire Mario series where there's one collective theme, and that is vacation. For positives, I think that's probably one of the best elements of the game, because in every place you go, you are on a vacation, and you feel like you're on a vacation. It's probably the most chill game out of all of them, if I'm being honest, because of just the vacation element and the music.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be nice to Sunshine, I'm going to say that is probably one of the best elements of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
There is also way more story elements, not in the mainline story, but within the specific levels. I can't remember the name, which is the one with where you clean up the poison water.
Yes, I know which one. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the video. I'll put it on the screen. In that level, you're trying to figure out what has poisoned the water in the entire level, and every time you come back, you try to solve it, but it doesn't work. And finally found out there's an eel with bad teeth you have to clean, so the entire harbor, or the entire place, becomes clean again. And then finally you go back in and see there's an entire city underneath where you're going to get 8 red coins. It's this very small, simple story, but it feels like you're actually cleaning something up. Like you actually have an impact on the world itself, which I always value very much in, game design. If you can make it feel like you have an impact on what is happening.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of the strong elements. However, where it also falls flat for me, as you say, is the controls. Now, there's no doubt in my head that everyone knows that Mario Sunshine was on on deadline. The production of the game, it had a few challenges and it didn't came out when they wanted to. There were still a lot of issues, which you can definitely see in the game.
Yeah.
And I think it faltered a lot in especially the controls, because I think a lot of people talk about graphic glitches and all of that, where you can see where the game falters. But for me, the biggest mistake of the game are the secret missions you can play, where you lose FLUDD and you only play as Mario. I'm not joking. When I played this game, I just want to quit. I don't see the point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just to me, the secret missions just without FLUDD, it just makes everything a pain, just not fun to play at all.
Yeah, because FLUDD's entire thing, the gimmick of it, which is great, is that it's allowing you to correct mistakes that you make up in the air, which is such a great element. And when you take that away, Mario becomes the most uncontrollable person you ever played in a video game. It feels so uncomfortable. Especially when you play games like Odyssey and 3D Land and games like those. No, 3D World, I'm sorry. Like, going back to Sunshine, like, it just feels orthodox.
Yeah, after playing like those games, coming back to Sunshine, it feels weird. It feels weird.
Fun fact, when I played Odyssey, I always try to do the cap jump.
Yeah.
And that's what happened when I played every game, especially Galaxy. So it's just a fun thing.
Yeah, after playing Odyssey a lot, if I've tried to go back to every game, I try to dive. Even when you're not even able to dive in that game, I still try it.
I died so many times because of that.
Yep, me too.
My other problem with Sunshine, which is a big flaw for me, basically Mario 64 had the boot out system where they kicked you out every time you picked up a star, except for the 100 coin star you could get. And in Sunshine it's the same thing, but I think it's way worse because of how immersive every island you go to is. When you get boot out, I just completely lose the immersion and it makes me realize I'm in a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
And more importantly, the freedom in Mario 64 where you could skip paintings or sometimes entire sections of the map, that is gone in Sunshine. Like, you have to get every 7 shine sprites in every island you go to, which just defeats the purpose of a collected font. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I really like staying in the stage. Like, if you collect a star or a shine, staying in the stage is great, but not with Sunshine.
Yeah.
I know I've been absolutely roasting this game.
Yeah. I hope we don't. I hope people can understand us, but we're going on a way more technical critique. We're not thinking so much about our own nostalgia. Of course, it's going to play a big part in every viewing experience.
Yeah.
But for us, it's way more about just the technicality.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can really ruin a lot of it, for me at least.
Yeah.
And Sunshine, unfortunately, I'm sorry, it just falls flat for me.
Yeah, same with me. It's like not one I'm that fond of. I mean, I haven't played it much. There's more cons than pros for me.
I think Sunshine is going to be the only game I'm never going to 100% complete.
Oh, definitely.
Especially because of the blue coins, which I know a lot of people hate. I think if some of the blue coins were shine sprites, it will just make it maybe a little bit more accessible. It's like the moon issue in Odyssey, where there's too many moons and many of them are boring to collect.
Yeah. Some are like stupid easy, where some are like you have to actually do something.
It's so sad because Sunshine, I feel like, is the closest one to, has the best idea out of any Mario game.
Mm-hmm.
Because they went for a consistent, setting. That was vacation. They tried to do a collectathon with additional help with the flood that Mario 64 didn't have. Like, you couldn't correct a lot of mistakes you did in Mario 64. If they just allowed you to play through every level without getting booted out, and you could get as many, you had to get like 70 shine sprite like in 64, the game would just be a lot better already. Like, maybe easily be one of the top, like an S tier.
Oh yeah, it'll be a lot better.
I think maybe if they got more time to develop the game, it would be higher.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Seems... That's life, apparently.
Yep.
But that, I don't want to keep, waffling. I think we should maybe move on to number 7.
Yep, sure.
Which is 3D Land.
Yes.
Now, I think a lot of people don't really care where we're going to place this one.
Yeah, it's probably one of the least popular, definitely.
I'm happy about 3D Land because 3D World time.
Yeah.
I love that game, but as its own, when I first had to pick up just simply the hardware itself, which is played on Nintendo 3DS, like, my hand, like hurt physically. I can also remember when I was younger, and I played it a lot, like, my hands it felt like I was having red spots after I played, because it hurt so much just holding it.
Yeah, having it on a small handheld, it's not ideal.
No. It's not because I don't think Mario can work on a handheld. I don't know if it's the Nintendo 3DS fault, or if it's just the game itself. Because I think it's the 3DS, because if the game itself, I think it's just average.
Yeah, the 3DS definitely plays a big part in it. Cramped hands.
I'm trying to think of it in a Nintendo Switch Pro Controller standard. And in that aspect, I think a lot of the charm loses. Because the thing that made 3D Land so accessible was its portability.
Yeah,
I think for a
exactly.
lot of people. I think that's also why it's a lot higher for me than Sunshine.
Yeah, being able to bring it on the go is like, it's great for Mario.
Yeah. That's also why the level gimmick works very well. If it's a collectathon, I don't think people would really pick out the game and play it. Because it's a short level, you can pick up, you can play 2 levels, and you can move on.
Exactly.
Which I did a lot when I went to Denmark on vacation. I like played a lot in the airport, so every time I had to stop and just sit down and wait, I just picked up the game and played, and just scrammed through a couple of levels, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it's good like that.
But we can't really rank it based on itself because we have other games to compare to.
Yeah.
Because after Sunshine fell for me because of how many floors there are, but 3D Land falls for me just how basic it is. Because after we go forward, every other game feels way more unique and fun to play than 3D Land.
Yeah, definitely. 3D Land's just really basic compared to all the other ones.
Yeah, an element I want to speak upon is, I don't know if I want to wait for 3D World now, but it's the thing I love about 3D Land and World is that it is meant to be played every level and beat your own records, like in time.
Yeah, with a timer. Yeah.
Yeah, because no one asked themselves why there actually is a timer, but the reason the timer's there is to challenge yourself in how to beat the levels, which I really much like.
Yeah, it's great.
I didn't do it a lot with 3D Land because I don't like how short the levels are compared to 3D World.
Yeah.
I also don't like always the gimmick of every level in 3D Land. I think 3D World did it way better because every level feels so unique in 3D World, and just also simply it was zoomed out. Like playing 3D Land, like I feel claustrophobic.
Oh yeah, definitely having it on that tiny screen, even on the tiny screen with the camera like so zoomed in, it feels like you're. Yeah, it feels really claustrophobic compared to 3D World.
I do admire all the extra content. Of course, some of it is, what's it called? Recycled content, like the same levels again in the extra content you get after you beat the game.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Like I will rather have just maybe 3 worlds instead of 8, where every one of them is original levels, but it's fine.
We can't have everything.
Yeah, you can't have everything. I guess it's hard to talk about the game because I can't really say anything special about it, and I can't really say anything worse about it because it is just that average.
Yeah, it's kind of that mid game where there's like same amount of goods as there are bads.
Maybe if the Nintendo Switch didn't exist, it would be higher because it would be the only game that was portable, like in a 3D Mario game. But now with 3D All Star and Bowser Fury and 3D World, and also Odyssey being on the Switch, it just lost all its factors very quick.
Yeah, definitely having all those games made on the Switch and ported to the Switch it's just pushed it down.
As be nice, like 3D Land could walk so 3D World could run.
Exactly.
So it does have that quality, and I also kind of like that they went for a different route, because I know people don't like when 3D Mario games become level based. I don't care. I just want them to make a good game, Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly.
And when they experiment with things like that and try to make it level based, like I'm all up for it, because I know Nintendo are good at making games. Like you can't deny it. They're a horrible company, but that's something else.
Yeah, that's something different. Yeah.
So we tried to talk a bit, hefty about every game, but I don't have anything more to say about 3D Land.
Yeah, can't really talk about it. Same amount of goods are bads. Of course, the hand cramps on the screen, but there are a goods. A good few levels. So yeah, pretty much just kind of that mid game.
It does have a good final Bowser battle.
It does. I remember playing that years ago and being like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm happy 3D World returned to that in the final boss battle too. There's just one thing I maybe want to say is the music. I think of all of the 3D Mario games, I think it's the worst one of all of them.
Yeah, I think I put it quite low as well. I do enjoy its soundtrack, but I mean, compared to the others, it would be kind of near the bottom.
The one thing I don't like about Nintendo is that they recycle music a lot, and they have a little bit of a remix going on sometimes, like in the secret levels in Sunshines, they play like that a cappella Mario theme.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but I'm someone who way more likes if original music, because they have to challenge themselves. Unless if it's like a cool, a remix that completely changes the vibe of the song, then I think it's fine. But like a lot of the levels, like they just recycled and it's the same one over and over again. And I guess fine, but as a music guy myself, it kind of bugs me.
Yeah, it'd be kind of nice to have, like, I know it's a bit more work, but like having like an original piece of music for every single stage would be nice, because you'll find like a desert level in one world will be the exact same as a desert level in next two worlds.
Yeah, I think I guess that's a critique, but anything else is fine. Should we move on?
Yep, I think that's a good idea.
On number 6 we have 64. Now I think we had a little bit of debacle here. I personally would like it. I like it a little bit higher, but I don't want. We tried to get on a common ground here, so we didn't, argue.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that 64 is very high for me. I didn't have as much respect for it as I had before, but now playing it again, I love it so much. Like I truly do. So it's not my fault. It's Mudkipp.
Yeah. I'm the reason why it's this low.
So hate comments, you just attack him.
Yeah.
Sunshine was me though, and him. So
yes, Sunshine was at the very bottom for me.
and me. So we agree on that.
Yes.
But maybe would you like to speak upon 64?
Yeah, for me 64 is like similar to Sunshine. I haven't played it as much. I've not got much experience with it, but I did pretty recently. I tried it again. I did quite enjoy it. I do like it more than Sunshine. The controls are a lot nicer, the movement's good. I enjoy the stages. But I guess the reason why I'd put it so low is because, like, I know it's like, for its time, it was like great. But like, looking back at it now compared to other games, to me, it seems kind of basic.
Yes.
But for its time, back when it came out, it was crazy.
The funny thing is that Mario lovers had to wait a little bit while before that Mario got back, like 3D Mario, get back to his roots, which was the collectathon. Because Sunshine kind of approached it, but failed.
Yeah.
Galaxy did it a little bit, but it was a little bit more restrictive. And like, I think the first time players got one again was maybe it was probably Odyssey. Like, they had to wait 20 years.
Yep.
So that's also why the game is so high for me, because it's still the game that has collectathons, and you can pick any level you want to play and not to play.
Yeah.
The only thing that annoys me about the game, there's a few things. The thing that annoys me about the game is that a lot of the objectives is very boring.
Yeah, definitely.
Womp Fortress? I can't speak. What is it? Is it called the Womp's Fortress?
Yeah, I think it's just called Womp's Fortress.
Okay, yeah. In that level, the first one, you climb the giant tower.
Tower, yeah.
Yeah, and you defeat the big Womp. And then the second star, you go up to the tower, and then you go a little bit higher into another tower, and you get the star.
More towers.
Yeah. And my point is just that every time you get into the game, you do sometimes the same action again and again, and it just becomes very boring soon. Especially when I, for example, went up to the tower again. Like, it wasn't that hard. Like, it took me about 30 seconds. What was the meat of it was, getting up there again, which was just the same. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that. It was boring.
Yeah, some of the stars can get pretty repetitive and boring after a while.
Yeah.
Like doing the same thing over and over.
Especially the 100 stars. Like 100 stars. No, I'm sorry, 100 coin stars.
Yeah, 100 coin stars.
Some of them, I'm okay with them. Like, they're just there if it takes a quick time to do. But for example, Bowser's Submarine. Like, there are very few coins, and like, it took me about 20 minutes before I found them all.
Yeah.
Which is it's just boring. Like, I don't, just because it is a collectathon, which means, wandering about, finding out what to do. I don't really think that it should be grinding. Like, I don't think Mario goes into Minecraft.
Yeah, that's true, that's fair.
Another thing that I don't really like, as maybe some of the controls, like doing a front flip is you have to get a little bit momentum before you can do it. Like, but in Sunshine it was like quick and fast. Like,
yeah.
Boom, you're there, which was incredibly fun to do. And the backflip, like for some reason you can't just do it immediately. You have to crouch the entire way down and then jump. Like it's just small things that kind of make the controls a little bit annoying. I don't think it's awful.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I do like some of the controls, but there are some that just couldn't really get used to.
It's hard to talk about the game because again, it's a very nostalgic experience for a lot of people, which I understand. Also for me, because it was also my childhood. It was just on an emulator.
Yeah.
The thing about it is that compared to some of the other games that are going to be on the list, except for maybe the next game, which again I wanted to be a little bit higher, which is fine. But any other game above that, I think like just hit a sweet spot. Like Mario 64, where if compared to Sunshine, where it's big flaws, Mario 64 has just those small little problems which just add up, which just rank it a little bit lower for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not a bad game.
It's not a bad game. Not a bad game.
Like I think before we started recording, like I tried to get 120 stars for the first time, 64, and I'll definitely do it, but I didn't have the time. Sorry.
Yeah, I've never gotten 120 stars either. I'd definitely be more likely to do it in 64 than Sunshine.
Yeah.
Easily.
The problem also with old games is they sometimes have those, random, very minuscule secrets you're never going to find without help, or just randomness.
Yeah, definitely.
For example, the star in the wall in Worm's Fortress, where you just shoot somewhere randomly into a wall and get a star.
Yeah.
Like, how?
Who knew this? How did this get figured out? I know you can do it without the cannon.
That's maybe also another thing, is that some levels you can't do. Like, that's something that I little bit like about Odyssey, is that every star is available. No, every moon is available. But in 64, there's some stars you can do, but there's some you can't. And I just don't like that. I want to go into a level and just do whatever I want.
Yeah, definitely.
Because then it becomes more level based.
Yep. I like that a lot more.
It's sad that we don't have one game of Mario that has done that, like a little bit of like a Zelda Breath of the Wild one, where you can just go wherever you want. Like imagine, and I'm talking about open world, I'm just talking about, imagine a Mario game where in the beginning of the game they tell you have to get 70 stars to get into this room, and you can pick about any level you want. Maybe you have like a tutorial based level first that you have to do, and then anything else is like open. I know it can be very like strange for some people because it's gonna have like difficulty spikes in some, but maybe with some rework it could really work. Also the music is something I like very much of Mario 64.
Oh, 64 has some good music, yeah.
Yeah, especially Dire Docks and
that's a good one.
Bowser's what's it called? Bowser's level? I can't remember. Bowser's Fortress?
Is it Bowser in the Sky? Or I don't know if that's the name of the song, but I think that's the name of the level.
Maybe. They used it in Galaxy also, which...
Yeah.
Again, I didn't like, but...
they love reusing their music.
Yeah. I like Mario 64 very much.
I like it as well. So it's not terrible. It's a good one.
I also think it is probably maybe the second or maybe the third to last game that I can just pick up and play, because some of the stars are easy to get. I like a chunky star, like a star that takes more time. That's also why the number one game, the number one ranking Mario game at the top is going to be a little bit about that.
Yes.
But I don't mind having small objectives that take about 1 minute. I just wish it didn't kick me out.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I like having a level where you can just collect something and stay there.
God, that sounds cool. It's like Banjo-Kazooie. I haven't played that much of Banjo, but the 2.
Yeah.
But that requires me paying $60 annually, 12 months to do. So, no thanks.
Yeah. Good old N64 online.
I don't want to get into that now. Let's just move on. At number... what is it? At number 5, we have Super Mario Odyssey. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
The surprise of the day.
I don't want to talk about this game because I have some strong thoughts, so could you just talk about it in 2 minutes?
Yeah, I can try. Well, start off, I absolutely love Odyssey. The kingdoms are great. Like I said before, the fact that like as you collect a moon, you get to stay on the stage. A lot of the moons, you actually need to like put an effort to find, which I love. Some of them you need to just ground pound on a hill, go through this hallway, look over there. It's like some of the moons are like stupid easy to get, but some of the moons require effort, which I really like. And the boss fights as well throughout the kingdoms. Like, you can't find moons here. Fight this boss and get a multi-moon. It helps you out, even though Odyssey is a pretty straightforward and easy game. But I do like it. I'm a big fan of Odyssey. Playing through it is like, it's probably like the game I'm most likely to like be like, okay, what Mario game do I just want to sit and play through in one sitting? It'd probably be Odyssey. And then the movement as well. It's probably my favourite movement in any Mario game. The movement's like, it's pretty much almost perfect. Cappy just makes things great. Like, I could probably just sit through and use the movement to like run through Metro Kingdom for like an hour and I'd still not be bored. And like all the kingdoms are, a lot of them are like, a lot of them feel open world, which is like awesome for a Mario game. So you can just run around, do whatever you like as you collect moons. So yeah.
Okay, and good to know.
Yeah, I can't really think of, I could probably think of some flaws. I know like the actual bosses in the game, like the Brudos and the Madame Broods. Like some of the boss, like those kind of bosses I'm not a big fan of, but some of the other ones are like really cool. Like Mecha Wiggler in Metro Kingdom is really cool. One of the coolest Mario bosses. And like the Bowser fights, I mean the Bowser fights are great. Like compared to other Mario games, I'm a big fan of the Bowser fights.
Yeah, as of the controls, like it was so good that I tried speedrunning the game. I'm not good, but I tried.
Yeah, at least you try.
But I used to compete with my friends of like who could beat the game first, because we were both very average. Like, and it's the most fun like speedrunning game. But I don't really put speedrunning fun into a Mario game because it is so very subjective and it's not something that game designers really go for, speedrunning.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't put it into, the critique. What I can't do is I can say that the controls are good because that's clearly why people want to speedrun the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why Odyssey's so like popular in the speedrunning community because of the
Yeah.
Because the controls are so good. I know I tried kind of speedrunning it last year. I did one speedrun where I just played through the game as quickly as possible, and then
you got the world record.
I got the world record, exactly. And then I got my brother to come in and pretty much guide me through like the route, or like the quickest like beginner route to get all the moons.
Yes.
And that was like the only 2 times I ever tried speedrunning Odyssey, but it was really fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Me and my pal, we watched like Smallland's video, like guide to speedrunning.
Oh, I think I've seen that one as well.
Yeah, it was very fun. It is an incredibly fun game to just play fast.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And that's totally credit to the controls itself.
Yeah, definitely.
And if I have to also be nice, I think most of the worlds are very memorable for me. Like, because how big they are, they become way more memorable. Instead of them being like small worlds like in 64 and Galaxy and 3D World and Sunshine, because there are only 10 or 9, I can't remember how many there are, but because there are only 9 or 10 places and they're so big,
yeah,
they become very memorable in my head.
Yeah, there's a lot of kingdoms that are like you'll remember, where some you'll probably forget a bit more, like Metro Kingdom. Everyone knows Metro Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to maybe like, I don't know,
Cloud,
yeah, exactly, Cloud Kingdom. You do a Bowser fight, then you're gone.
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of clouds. There's nothing much to it.
Yeah, but where my critique comes is that the objective of the game is to collect moons, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it's very clear for me that the chunk of the game is not the game where you just complete it. The meat of the game is where you just collect the stars in general at free time. And I hate that section incredibly a lot, because the moons in the games are so incredibly boring to get.
Yeah, that's fair.
Of course, Sunshine had its problems with that you had to do them, and that became tedious to do. but they're still somewhat fun to do. With Odyssey, you don't have to do them, but they're annoying still. I want to do them, I want to have fun with them, and that's where my problem of, quantity over quality. Like, that's what they kind of went for, and I hate that. It's quality over quantity which matters, because that's what's going to stick through my head.
Too many. I would agree with you. There's too many moons.
Yeah. Let's say they just cut down the middle 500 moons. Already there, I think people would not be scared to collect them. Because there's so many moons, it could very easily destroy people from, trying to get there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them is just grinding. Like, I don't understand how buying moons, like grinding money to get there. Like, I don't know how that is fun for anyone to do. Especially since you also wanted to buy costumes and all that.
Yeah. Like, you can just... I think after you beat the game, or at some point later on, you can just go into a shop and just buy as many as you want.
Yeah.
Kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it kind of annoys me, because also in the factor of how many of the moons... There's sometimes you can just run into a random moon that is just very fun to do, like out of nowhere. And then you go back to just ground pounding different places, or catching birds, or following a trail, or... Those moons I don't care about. And again, it's like in 64 also had very basic basic stars. But a lot of them, they're short and sweet. But in Odyssey, they're not even, like, when I sometimes found a place that was glowing, you cramp on, you find the moon. How is that, satisfying?
Yeah.
What is the point to it? In 64, you clearly are going for a star, you know where to go, you get it, maybe within 2 minutes, but you understand there was at least a small adventure in there. In Odyssey, there's none in a lot of the moons you get. I think the best moons are probably challenge rooms and the small shrines you get.
The sub areas.
Yes, sub areas. Yeah.
Yeah, those are a lot better. I enjoy those a lot more.
I call them shrines because Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But those places I think are fun because it seems like they had more freedom in what to do, because when they have like a theme going for them, they can't be as creative as they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that those rooms were more realistic. Like, no, not realistic, but realistic to the setting of the place they are in.
Yeah.
But I guess it's fine. It's not as stupid as in Sunshine, where it's just a floating triangular watermelon or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I want just for everyone's record, I 100% completed the game, so that's also why I have such a disheartening feeling, because when I was done playing the game completely 100%, I was just sat there like, why? Why did I do this?
Yeah.
I got nothing out of it.
The only thing I haven't done 100% is Darker Side. Like, a few years ago I tried to 100% it, and then I tried Darker Side for a bit, like without any of the skips people have done, and then I tried to do it, but I'd always get stuck in the one room where
Spinies.
Yeah, the Spinies, I'd always get stuck there, and then I eventually just gave up.
The worst one, yeah, is when you had to use that little pogo.
That's the bit where I always got stuck.
I hate it.
I hate that, yeah, I hate that as well, that's terrible. That's always where I got stuck, because I eventually just gave up with it, and I've never gone back to it.
Yeah, I just used, what's his name? Flying dinosaur guy?
Glydon.
Glydon, yeah, I just used him, a fly old thing.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet, but if I were to go back in 100%, I'd definitely do that.
I think that's also sad when the last thing you do in the game is way more fun to do than anything else. That kind of just shows that you clearly know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I have never met one person that said that ground pounding a place and forgetting a moon. I know I use this example a lot, but it's just because it's so distinct in my head.
Yeah,
I never met one person that has said, I like getting these moons. And if there is one, I never had one explain to me why they like them. They can just say they like it.
Yeah. It's like, what's your favourite moon? Oh, I like the one where you walk up a hill and ground pound. Oh, why? Oh, because I like it. Exactly.
Now it gets good.
It's a good moon. You ground pounds.
Oh, now it gets difficult. Love ground pounding.
My favourite. And there's like a ton of them as well.
I don't know what else to say. I mean,
yeah, I think we've pretty much covered it.
Oh yeah, sorry. The most important thing is the gimmick of the game, which is the captures.
Yeah, the captures.
What do you think?
Yeah. There's like, I think there's like over 100, but I do like having the captures. Some of them, like, aren't like, useful.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of useful ones, so I feel like maybe if they had a bit less, I think I'd like it a bit more, because like I know there's one of the captures is like a tree or a cactus.
Or a bunch of letters.
Yeah, capture this tree, move the tree, ground pound, get a star, and it's the exact same with the cactus.
Yeah. My problem with a lot of the captures is that Mario's movement is so great, is when you take that away from him, it kind of becomes more of a challenge than it becomes, a viable option to it with, expand Mario's options of controls.
There's a lot of captures used to, get moons, but you're also able to get those without them. So I think it's a lot nicer using Mario to get those moons without captures.
Yeah. It's also in, what's it called? Like in Super Mario Odyssey 2, I really hope they have some captures where you could, instead of just using it in specific, puzzles or challenges where you can't move forward without using this capture. I wish they really had some captures where you can just change you immediately, maybe, because there will be so much more like advanced ways to get around. Like imagine in the middle of an air jump, you can transform into a pogo, like a pogo bird, whatever they're called, and you can just then hang into a wall.
Yeah.
Again, the capture itself doesn't really help Mario in its form, but when you can change it into whatever Mario is doing, it becomes a viable option for, expanding Mario's control scheme. So let's say you only can choose maybe 3 captures to be. There's so much options there now. And I know it could break the game very easily, but that's why I hope that in the second one they think way more about maybe having chunky moons that take times to get instead of just, a bunch of them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to say because I'm not a game designer. I analyze game design, but I'm not one.
Yeah.
But it's really one thing I wish they include is just having captures be a viable option in movement instead of a restriction.
Yeah, have them be like less required.
And yeah, as for the music, the reason I'm talking about the music is because the music for me is such a big part of my identity and also Mario. And this Odyssey has great music. It has actually not that many songs because when you're just in one kingdom, that's probably the only song you're going to hear, like New Donk City, which is fine. I'm not as big a fan of the music as anyone else. Of course, I realize that the big hits like, what is it called in the Wood Kingdom?
Steam Gardens.
Yeah. That's such a good song. Like the bass line of that one.
Yeah, I like that one as well.
I'm gonna be playing that throughout this section of the video.
Nice.
So, but I think that's Odyssey.
Yeah.
When I think about it, analyze in my head, I can't see it be above 64, but I can understand it.
Yeah.
Please don't kill me. Let's move on to number 4.
Number 4.
Which is Bowser's Fury. Now, for anyone saying that Bowser's Fury should be a part of 3D World, die. No, I can't say that. It's simply not. Like, it's a completely new experience compared to 3D World. So I'm comparing it as its own game.
Yeah.
So at number 4 we have Bowser's Fury. Now, you hadn't played this game because you had the same issue as me where you have a lot of games but you don't play them all.
Yeah, I got 3D World and Bowser's Fury when it came out, but I never... I 100% 3D World in the first few days with Toad, and then I just never played Bowser's Fury, and I didn't start playing it until a few weeks ago. So I've not played it until like really recently.
Yeah.
But I agree, it's like a completely different experience to 3D World. Like 3D World, you've got your individual levels that you run around and collect the green stars and then eventually reach the flagpole. But Bowser's Fury, it kind of feels more like Mario Odyssey, where you're on this big map and there's like small sections throughout the map where it's like, oh, go up here to climb this. Go on Plessy, I think they're called.
What?
Go on the orange dragon thing that swims.
Oh yeah, isn't it called like Plessy?
I think so, yeah, Plessy.
Yeah, Plessy, yeah.
Where it's like, this time you like climb this thing to get these, like the cat shine, I think it's called,
Mm-hmm.
and then go on Plessy with go through these areas to collect this cat shine.
Yes, it's definitely the thing I love about Sunshine was also the fact you could see every place you had been, from a distance. But
Yeah, it's really
in that
nice.
game you couldn't go there. But in Bowser's Fury you can see where you've been, and you can just go there immediately. It's such it feels so big, but when you actually think about it, the game isn't as big as you actually think.
Yeah.
Which for me, I really hope the next game takes the same steps as Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, that'd be nice if the next game is similar in some way to Bowser's Fury.
I think the thing also is that game, Bowser's Fury, doesn't have as many. It doesn't have as many cat shines as Mario Odyssey has moons, and I think a lot of the cat shines in Bowser's Fury are a lot of fun to do. I have a small critique of you can't do some shine sprites. Not shine sprites. Cat shrines immediately. You have to return to the level again, and then you could do a P-switch, level or whatever it is. And I just wish that again all of the cat shrines are there, so you can just do whatever objective you want, instead of you have to come back later or you have to respawn in again. It just kind of defeats the purpose of just having this big great world which you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but I do like the way you get cat shines in Bowser's Fury more than moons in Odyssey. The fact that there's a lot less just makes the collecting them a lot better than Odyssey.
It feels more valuable.
Yeah, when you get it, yeah, I finally did it after climbing this tower for a while.
That's not to say that I think everyone is great, every cat shrine is great. For example, I didn't like the one where I had to return the baby cats
that one.
to the mother.
Yeah.
It just feels a little bit too long, and I don't care. And also the ones where you have to go up to the clouds or defeat some beetles with a star.
Yeah.
You can just not use a star even. I don't get the point of it. I don't really value Mario as a Doom game where you just go and defeat every enemy you see.
Yeah, it's not really like that, is it?
And I think I always love Mario games where you traverse upwards. And a lot of the levels are like that. For example, the best one for me is there's so many good ones. The best one for me is probably the one where you have to use the propeller and fly up the big place. I can't remember Mario place's name, okay? I'm sorry, I'm a fraud, I'm not a Mario fan. But also the one where you have to use the Goomba shoe and slide across an entire island, pick up P-switch coins. It's so much fun and so much creativity. It feels like that the Mario team just completely just went nuts, did whatever they want. It seems like they had fun doing it when I play it.
Yeah, they definitely did.
But something I want to discuss is of course Bowser, or his Fury form in this game. People love Bowser's Fury Bowser, whatever you want to call him, in this game. However, what do you think?
Compared to other Bowsers, I like it a lot more. It's really cool.
Yeah. Of design and concept idea and all that, I think it's genius. He's the most badass Bowser I've seen in any game.
Yeah, definitely.
And also the idea of just having this ginormous guy following you, it feels so awesome.
Yes, it's pretty crazy, yeah.
I don't understand how this runs on a little hardware.
Oh yeah, I noticed that on a few bits that it did lag a bit.
Yeah, it lagged. Yeah, the game can lag very much, especially when he uses his fire breath and all that.
Yeah, that's just the Nintendo Switch for you.
But the thing I don't like is that how every time you get a cat shrine, Fury Bowser disappears. I really wish that he stayed just for maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because that there are some cat shrines where you need Bowser Fury Flames to devour, so you can get the cat shrine. It's so tedious because every time you get him, he has to disappear, and you can't spawn Fury Bowser back in, except if you have an amiibo Bowser Fury, which is just stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
So you just, like, when I try to 100%, I 100% complete this game because it's not a long game. Like, you could defeat it 100% in 2 hours. When I tried to get it 100%, I didn't do the Fury blocks until the last ones, and it took me about 30 minutes for him to come back in, shoot the place, take the Shine Sprite, or maybe, oh, sorry, I called Shine Sprite, catch shrines, and then go into the next place and blow it up. And I found out that you don't have to get the moons immediately. I thought maybe the blocks would respawn, they don't. But even then, Bowser's Fury would disappear after a couple of minutes. Or maybe one, like, it's completely RNG, like he can disappear within 1 minute or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's just incredibly infuriating. Hey, infuriating.
Hey.
That's a pun for you.
But I would like it a bit more if you could, like, I know you can summon them in when you have enough cat shrines, but I feel like being able to summon them in at any point would be a bit nicer.
But that's really one. And then another thing I don't like is how easy Bowser's Fury is to defeat. Like, he's incredibly easy to do, especially his third or second form. I can't remember. You pick up some blocks and you can just launch them across everywhere you want. Like, it's not hard at all.
Yeah, it's very easy to just defeat him. You could take him out in like less than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's really quick.
Even when you get, like, I don't know if you know this, but if you get all the cat shrines, like, he will turn into his final form, where he, like, has full health. He has white hair and it kind of looks like white Goku. And then if you get one of the cat power-ups, they don't respawn. Even then, it's not hard at all. What is fun is the final Bowser battle where you had to use Plessy. That is pretty difficult. I just don't like that's something else, but I'll talk about it later. But it's really good fight. The last one, using Plessy and maneuver around. I really like it.
Yeah, I've not done it myself, but from the gameplay I've seen, it looks really cool.
Something else I want to discuss about is maybe the power-ups and the captures, which I kind of talked about. If they make a Super Mario Odyssey 2, and you could, like, keep one of the captures in your pocket. That kind of is like in this game, where you can, like, have a Tanuki leaf or a basic mushroom or boomerang or fire flower or whatever it is. You can have it in your pocket and you can, like, take out a power up whenever you want.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's a cool design, but I think it's too overpowering.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Because when I fought against the final Bowser form, you're not going to die. Like, you can just pick out a power-up every time you lose one. Like, lose a health or whatever it is called.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, looks like I'm about to die. Let's bring out one of my 5 cat bells.
Oh, which one should I use? This was so difficult.
Had them stored away forever until the last moment. If you got 5, just like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna die. It just makes things pretty easy.
I think it would be way better if you could only have one. Like, if you had one power-up in each section, maybe. It's still a little bit overpowering, but I know it's a child game, so it would be a little bit easier, maybe. Because then, if you pick that power-up, you can, like, transform. I don't know how to explain this, but if you lose it until you find the power-up again, which I think will be way more... Like, it would be more restrictive, but it will also be like a risk take of when do I use this power-up, when do I not use it.
Yeah.
But in Bowser Fury, it doesn't matter when you use it. Like, because you get it so often.
Yeah, there's power-ups literally everywhere.
Yeah. When you get 100 coins, you get a power-up. When you use Bowser Jr. to paint something, you get a power-up. When you defeat some enemies, you get power-up. When you hit blocks, you get power-up. Like...
Yeah, there's just so many.
Sometimes you can get a power-up within a power-up, like the shoes from a Goomba or like a flying propeller.
Yeah.
I like the game very much. The last thing I want to say is that I think it is the best game to take up and just play.
Yeah, definitely is one of them, yeah.
I know people don't like short games because they think that money value is in how big the game is, like in Breath of the Wild, which I can see. But for me, it's also about replayability. And right now, I don't want to play Breath of the Wild again.
Yeah.
Even though how long it is.
I was saying 3D World's definitely like, if you're gonna suggest a game to someone, suggest like, oh, Bowser's Fury is like fun to pick up, easy to start, fun to play. So yeah.
What was it? It's also like I bought Metroid Dread, and it was like about the same price range as Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But I played Metroid Dread way more than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's because it is better. I just think that Metroid Dread emphasizes replayability, while Breath of the Wild emphasizes adventure, a long adventure, which is great for both of them. Which I just hate when people just want to play a big RPG open world game and taking 60 hours of their life and then they can move on. Like, I like short experience. I also like long experience. It just depends on what the game needs. And Super Mario doesn't need to be 60 hours long.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
So, small critique there. Sorry, I was a bit on a rant.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I really love the game. Definitely I want to play it right now, in fact. But we don't have time.
Yeah, I think I'll play it right now as well.
But let's move on to number 3, which is Super Mario 3D World.
Yes.
I was scared that I had to argue my way through you to put it high, but you were very easy.
Yeah.
You also like the game very much, so I was happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm one of the people who absolutely loves 3D World.
Like, I made an entire podcast about 3D World with a good friend of mine, Duo Stuff. Shout out to him. And like, we just discussed all the good qualities of the game, and it was a very good podcast. It's one of my favorite because also of how much I love 3D World.
Yeah.
It's hard, I can't remember all the things we said in that video, and I don't want to recycle everything I say. So maybe you want to say something, because I bet you haven't watched that video.
Yeah, I can't say I've watched it, but 3D World, it's like one of those games that, like, I would say I grew up with it. Like, I played it on the Wii U years ago. I've played it throughout the years. I've always enjoyed it. I know, like, a lot of people don't like the fact that you'd be like, you get put in a stage, you've got power-ups to get through the stages. Some people probably didn't like the cat aspect, and a lot of people did like it. The movement was fun, but I know some people don't like getting put in a stage being so restrictive and having to get to the end. But I actually quite enjoy that. That's why I know we put 3D Land quite low, but I do enjoy 3D Land quite a bit. But 3D World just does it a bit more, since like the controls are a lot nicer in 3D Land. The camera's better. It's not so like restrictive. The being able to see everything, being able to see where you're going is a lot nicer. Power-ups, they're all fine as well.
I also think the level design in 3D World is way better than 3D Land, because sometimes 3D Land came with a really funny, smart idea, but it was over so quick. In 3D World, they experiment very often, and they return to some ideas in other levels, like the cherry power-up.
Oh, the cherry power-up, yeah.
Like, the first time you get it is very cool, and you think, okay, you're not going to use it again, because they emphasize very much on just, creativity in every level. But then they return to it another time, where you then have to use Mario across, like, the beating blocks. They have, like, a timer on them, and they disappear. And you have to maneuver with the cherry mushroom, and then later on you have to use it again, but this time it's like on a cakewalk.
Yeah.
And so the idea just returns, and it becomes more fun and more challenging. Because of the meat of the game, I don't play Mario 3D World just to defeat it. Because when I return to the game, there's gonna be a bit of a rhyme. When I turn to the game, and that was every game, that was just to beat the game as fast as possible, just so I could remember my memories of the game.
Yeah.
But when I played 3D World, I didn't have a lot of fun doing that. So I felt like I was doing something wrong, so I played it again. But this time, I did what I want to do, and that was get all the green stars. And then it became immediately more fun to do because of the challenge of them. Something else I did was also try to defeat some of the levels as fast as possible, like in 3D Land, as I mentioned. But it's way more fun in 3D World because of the controls.
Yeah, definitely.
The final thing, and then I experimented with different characters Like, I spent about 40 minutes in the first Super Bell Hill, using different characters, Toad and Peach and Luigi's height, to see which one I could defeat the levels as fast as possible with. And it was just so much fun.
Yeah. For 3D World, I know, like, this is probably the same for a lot of people, I don't play it for the story. I more or less play it to, like, the music's great, the level design's great, it's a lot more unique than 3D Land. Like, 3D Land, you see a lot of, like, more repetitive stages, but, like, what's in all of the 3D World stages is, like, really unique, which is why I love it.
Yeah. I haven't played, though, the multiplayer. Maybe you have.
I played it a tiny bit with 2 friends when the game came out, but it was very laggy, but I think that was on my end.
I played a little bit with my bro and like my I think maybe my stepdad or my mom. I don't remember. Like, my mom is cool. She plays video games with me.
Nice.
Nicest woman. She's a true gamer.
Yes.
Shout out to you, mom.
My mom was a big Animal Crossing fan. That's like the only game she plays, but she doesn't play it that much.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I love my mom. If she watches this, I love you, mom.
She's got more playtime than me in Animal Crossing, which is
that's insane.
kind of sad. Even though I play a lot more games than she does, she's got more playtime than I do.
Well, that was a sideline. Sorry. Returning to the 3D World.
Yes.
What was I about to say? Yeah, the multiplayer, it emphasizes a lot more about chaos and like who controls every scenario.
Yeah, who's going to be which character as well, yeah.
Because it changes the aspect of the game way more than just, because I think 3D World is also very chill just to play. But with the multiplayer element, it becomes way more chaos. And the time I did play was a lot of fun, and I really want to do it with someone else, but I'm alone.
Yeah, online 3D World, like, connected to the Switch Online is kind of bad, but like, if you're going to play like in real life with like friends or family members, it's a lot better because you're like all sitting together and you can all just like mess around because like the 4 players crazy.
Yeah,
it makes it a lot more fun.
Something else I was want to discuss is maybe, I don't know, just small things I like about the game that it did better than 3D Land, like just the fact that it zoomed way more out. It just becomes way better for me.
Yeah, definitely. And I know it's just like camera, but it does play a big role in Mario.
Yeah, especially Mario. And I think probably 3D World is the best camera in the sense of that it is completely based on, like, the camera is never going to glitch out like in 64 and Odyssey. I know it's an unfair comparison because in those games you have controlled the camera. I'm just saying that in essence it is the best camera,
Yeah.
because you don't have to worry about it, because every level is just thought so much out. I forgot what I was gonna say. No, yeah, the extra content also I think is way better in 3D World than in 3D Land, especially the last couple of levels.
Oh yeah, World Mushroom, World Flower, World Star, all that stuff.
It's an evil bastard, but it is fun.
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's great. I'm glad that there's more worlds to play rather than just like the ones at the bottom.
Yeah. And also another thing I like is just the overworld itself. Like, you can see the little level before you jump in.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that as well.
The 3D Land did have that too, but it was way more level based, where you kind of move left to right.
Yeah.
But I like it way more in 3D World, where this is like a small miniature and you can walk up to it or do whatever you want.
Yep.
What else? I don't know. It's again the music. I'm a jazz player myself, and it's one of the best Mario sounds. I think it's probably the third best. You guys probably know what the first one is.
Yeah.
The best one.
For me, 3D World, I think I'd put it at definitely 2 or 3. It's definitely up there.
Yes. I know. I also just love the 4-player, not the 4-player, but the 4 characters you can play as.
Yeah, having more than just Mario is like really good.
Yeah, like I love how all of them are so different. And I know Mario is very basic, but that's the point. Like he's meant to be the most basic, so you have a good understanding of just his controls. Because how basic he is, he actually becomes the most easy one to play.
Yeah.
When you have to use the other ones, you have to think way more about how high they can jump and how slippery Luigi is, and like how fast Peach isn't, and how Toad has a horrible jump and all that. So I really like that aspect too.
Yeah, me too.
If I had to give it a small critique, I would say that some of the power-ups, I just didn't want to use them compared to the catsuit.
Yeah, there's a few power-ups that I just don't like. Like, if I've got a choice between catsuit or boomerang, I'm gonna go with the catsuit.
Defo, yeah. It's not because they're bad, it's just that the catsuit again gives you more optional, way of movement that the others don't. It's very few actually power-ups in this series, as a Mario series, where it actually enhances your ability of movement instead of taking away from you.
Yeah, like there's the catsuit, the Tanuki leaf.
I guess you could see Flood was a little bit one of that.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Maybe also Galaxy's 2, like Cloud Mushroom.
Oh yeah, Galaxy 2's power-ups, and then Galaxy 1's, I don't know, Red Star Mario.
And Yoshi.
And Yoshi, of course, yeah.
I think Nintendo doesn't like always to do this kind of way more, more expansive and open, like power-ups that enhances your abilities, but because maybe it would break the game. But just look at Odyssey, it's the most breakable game ever, and they knew it. Like the different coins you can see in different places, like it just shows that they definitely knew what they were doing, that players were going to go up there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same thing with like any other game. I'm just going to rant because I'm not a big fan of like abilities that take away your power up instead of enhancing you, because there's some things that I like for example the spring mushroom. I'm not going to talk a lot about it. When we get to it, I want to talk about the spring mushroom. I love the power up because it's so clearly meant to be a challenge to play as, whereas the boomerang suit feels like it's meant to be an additional power up that's going to help Mario, but it feels way more restrictive than the catsuit, which is the better choice.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I think I talked. If you want to learn more about why I love this game, you can just watch my podcast episode.
Yes.
Or maybe do you have a video on it?
I don't have one on 3D World, but if I were to make one, I definitely would. If I thought, hey, if I come up with a topic for 3D World, I'd definitely make a video on it.
Okay, then one day just Google it, Mudkipp 3D World, and maybe you'll find it.
It may happen eventually.
I just want to shout something out of you. You do so much Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, I do want to do more types of different Mario stuff, but I want Mario Kart to be my main focus.
But it does have one of the best Mario levels, which is the Mario Kart level.
Oh, that's probably one of my favourite levels from 3D World. That's such a fun one.
Don't they also play the original Mario Kart music?
Yeah, I think they play the original Mario Circuit theme. I think it is.
Yes. Sweet reference. Yeah.
That's a really good stage. It's probably one of my favourites.
I think it's very sad the reception the 3D World got.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
It is such a good game. It is a very good game, and if you don't like it because it is a level based, then that's fine. I just think you have to input that it's, your opinion, because I also like, I think, Collectathon's more than level based, but you can't criticize the game design itself, because it is very clearly thought out and great.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe you can, I don't know, it depends on if you have a well-founded argument rooted in well evidence.
Yes.
But that's 3D World for you, and if anyone hates it, go die. We have now number 2, Galaxy 1.
Yes.
Now this is where this tier list goes from A tier maybe to S tier, maybe even SS tier. It's such a good game, man.
The Galaxy's awesome.
Of course, it's nostalgia. Like I grew up with the Galaxy, but again, I also grew up with 64. So I don't know if it's a fair point always that nostalgia is clouding my judgment, because I'm going to try my best to explain my stand with well-founded proof and evidence. Tell you why it's great. But maybe you want to go first, Mudkipp, because I don't actually know very well your opinion about it.
But yeah, I definitely agree putting it Galaxy at number 1. I definitely like it more than the other games. Galaxy 1 wasn't the game that I grew up with. I only played it for a little bit at a friend's house, like when I was maybe I probably was about 10 years ago. 10 years ago was like when I played it for a little bit, but then I played through the whole thing in a couple of days when 3D All Stars came out, and it was very fun. I really enjoyed it. It instantly became one of my favourite Mario games. It was that good.
The first thing I want to discuss is, I think it's the only time where the Buddha system doesn't annoy me, because how every star you get takes a time, like it takes a while to get them.
Yeah, it's not annoying to be kicked out. Exactly.
No, in 64, sometimes there were so many stars in each section, and so many of them were so easy to get very fast, that when you get kicked out, it felt very annoying.
Yeah.
But because every star in Galaxy is so expansive and is so grandiose and big, it never annoyed me that I was kicked out. Maybe some of the comet stars, we're gonna talk about that later because they piss me off.
Yep.
But I just want to talk about the main objective itself, because if there's one game that I want to play 100% through, except for maybe Bowser's Fury, I don't know, it would be Galaxy 1 maybe.
Yeah.
No, maybe it'll be Galaxy 1, yeah, because Galaxy 2 has some extra content that I don't care about.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh yeah, about the being kicked out, like you were saying about like 64, there's like, you know where the stars are, so you collect that star and you're like, oh, I wish I could just go get that star, but with Galaxy, you go through the whole stage, you get to the end, and you feel like, alright, I've done it, I've got the star, I can go back in and get the other one. Like, you feel like you've actually done something. Yeah,
it felt like an adventure, and again, it had the same principle of Sunshine, where, like, you could see a distant planet that you haven't seen before, and you wanted to go there, and you could the next time you went there. I don't know, it's also, I think it has also the best story in the game, out of any of them.
Yeah, it's definitely up there, yeah.
Because it was like, I don't want to spoil anything for Breath of the Wild if anyone has played, but I don't think this is a big spoiler, but in Breath of the Wild, basically, Ganondorf has not taken over the world, but he has destroyed like a lot of places in Hyrule, and you have to explore a lot of it. And when I went through and seen what Ganondorf actually did, like there was a general hatred for him actually, because you could generally see how it had affected people so much. And Bowser, I'm not saying it's exactly the same, because in Breath of the Wild it's so expansive, and of course not saying that like Mario Galaxy is some sort of Shakespeare dialogue, but in the first level, it's the first time I really realized how evil Bowser was, like just killing toads, freezing them, and just shooting comets down, and then taking Peach in a UFO away. Like, there was a genuine like hatred for Bowser there. Like, it felt like that it became more than just princess stealing.
Like, this is what it's like, what Bowser's meant to be like.
It was I think it's a good thing, because the adventure becomes so much more clear to what to do now. Because also Rosalina lost her stars because what she calls monster, which is Bowser.
Yeah.
And again, you have like a fellow goal now. So already the motive is there, which was never the case in 64 or something like that, because it's just about the objective, you know, getting the stars because it's fun. But in Mario Galaxy, it actually felt like something to strive for, and it was an emotional investment now.
Yeah, definitely.
I also loved the little short stories with Rosalina.
Yeah, they're very cool.
I will admit, as I cried a little bit. Okay, don't make fun of me.
Fair enough.
Nah, I'm just an easy crier. But it's because Mario, I don't want a feeling story about Mario, for example. I don't want an emotional impact on that. But it was because it was side content and it had to do with Rosalina. It worked. Because if they try to do an emotional story with Mario, I would just laugh. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I don't really think that would work very well.
But because it's a character we don't know about, like Rosalina, and the game is so grandiose and so big and so like emotional just to look and hear at, it made sense for Rosalina, since she is embodiment of all of like the galaxy in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something else, I must admit, out of any other game, I think Mario Galaxy, like both of them, have probably the worst power-ups.
I mean, yeah, compared to other ones, the power-ups are a bit, can't really think of a word, but it's like, not like worse, but like...
maybe a lackluster.
Yeah.
Like the B Mario, like it takes away a lot of movement, and sometimes you have to use it, and it feels like a handicap.
Yeah, it's also like really slow, which isn't great.
I don't, and again, I don't think it was meant to be a handicap. I think it was meant to be a viable option that felt funny to use. But Mario's movement is so jumpy and big, and it feels way more fun to just play as normal Mario. It was like an Odyssey where you pick a Goomba. It doesn't feel great to play as it.
Yeah, it really doesn't, no.
Except for the spring mushroom, which I am sorry, but I think it's generally one of the best power-ups in the Mario series.
I think I'm kind of the opposite. I find it really annoying, but that's probably because it's like, it's kind of difficult to control, but like it's pretty unique.
The reason why I love it is because it emphasizes more about level design than actually fun playing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's so clearly meant to be a handicap. Like when people say it's awful, like it's awful to use, I don't understand how this is a power up. I'm always like, that's the point, because it's meant to be more about the level design now, challenge you in that aspect, which I love. Like if you're going to make power ups, I think there should either be an addition or a handicap of challenging you in a different way, like the ball you use with the motion controls, or like Clyde on the Galaxy 2. I know people don't like it, but I understand why they're doing it, because they want to challenge you, and therefore I think it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I can understand that.
Yeah. Again, I think it's just technical design. I think it makes sense, but I understand why people don't like it.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of rant, sorry. It's a very small aspect, but I wonder, of all of the music, Galaxy is one of the most beautiful soundtracks I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, Galaxy's got an amazing soundtrack. It's definitely up there with like, it's kind of difficult to decide which one I like more, 3D World or Galaxy.
Yeah, it's also very different. You know, jazz and orchestral soundtrack is very different.
Yeah.
But I like them for different reasons, so therefore I can't really compare them. But I think of like, it's so relaxing and so beautiful and so grandiose. Like, but sometimes it's also very jumpy. Like in Honey Hive Galaxy, there's like this bass line that's just playing. But and that's kind of the point. Like even though people say that the orchestral music is great, what I love about it is how different it is for every galaxy. For example, Battle Rock Galaxy, it's so like every time you get a star, and a piece of the planet explodes, and it feels so grandiose. That's why the music is so grandiose.
Yeah.
And in like a galaxy like Gusty Garden, where it feels very beautiful and relaxing, therefore the music is very beautiful and relaxing. So every galaxy fits the music so perfectly, which I can't say for like, of course there, like I think every other Mario game also have that, but it just sticks the landing so well, because not only is it like fitting, but it also sounds amazing. Because maybe Mario 64 music, it is fitting, but it doesn't sound amazing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Like for example the slide song.
Isn't that, did they bring that to Galaxy? I know they brought it to Galaxy 2, but I can't remember if they brought it to Galaxy.
Again, I don't like recycled content. Please give me something original.
Yes.
Did they use it for the first one? I thought it was the second one.
They definitely used it in the second one, but I can't remember they used it in the first one.
Maybe.
They might have.
Another thing is that Galaxy 1 has also the same structure as Mario 64, where the first couple of levels you kind of have to do, but then you can do whatever you want. Like, I don't like a lot of the levels in the kitchen area, which is Beach Ball Galaxy and the Ghost House, so I just went a completely different... I just skipped that entire section and only did the first two rooms.
Yeah.
And then moved on to the bedroom. Like, that option, it feels so great to have.
Yeah, it does. I think when I was playing through it, I'd like completely finished one of the areas before moving on to the next one. I think that's what I did.
When a game is so good that you want to do every star in just one galaxy and don't want to see what's next, that's when a game is good.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the game. But it's also weird they went for this very melancholic tone in the end. Like I don't criticize it. I just think it's like a little bit funny, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because everything is dead. Like everything is destroys, and then the Lumas just kill themselves for you to get to live to another planet or galaxy. Like it's like extremely depressing when you think about it. Like another tier was about to come out, but then I just saw like this supernova. That's also why I like the. It's weird because I like Mario Galaxy 2 structurally more, but the first one like has small things that is better, like you can skip certain sections over, the story is better, and like the hub world is great. Those kind of things Galaxy 2 didn't have.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I was just saying that Galaxy 1's hub world, the Comet Observatory, is a lot better than Galaxy 2's.
Yeah, Mario face.
Like Mario face against Observatory, like I think there's a clear winner.
It's also, if I have to give one critique of the game, like a big one, I think it's the comet stars in Galaxy 1. They're not that great. Some of them I think are like a time travel purple coins. I think that's okay. I don't think they're extremely fun to do, but they're okay. What I don't like is like getting all of the purple coins in a level. God, it is boring. It is incredibly boring to do.
Yeah, a lot of them get boring quick. Like the which one is it?
In Freeze Flame Galaxy.
Freeze Flame Galaxy is pretty boring, but there's one that I'm thinking of. It's the one where the big ship and most of the coins are underwater.
Oh no.
That's my least favourite one. I hate that one.
I hate that one too.
That's by far the most boring one.
I hate it. I also don't like the speed running combat because they're so easy. Like the challenge is just not dying, because if you die you have to do it all over again. Nonetheless, I think like I beat it at the same time I did it the first time.
Yeah.
Like it was not hard. It was not hard. I think but the mainline objective stars are very fun to do. I don't think I can name one that I think is bad. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think, but right now I can't. But the comet ones are not fun to do for me.
Yeah, that's kind of the same with me.
Maybe another critique is that some of the galaxies are very similar to something we've seen before, like Dusty Doom Galaxy, which is just a sand level, like a sandbox made out of sand, or like the first, maybe some levels where it's just grass. Like it's not bad, but it's just things we've seen before. But there's so many levels that are unique that I can't really criticize it. Like compared to like 3D World, which also had that, like it is not as excessive.
Yeah.
But maybe we should move on to Galaxy 2 because it's just more Galaxy.
Yeah, more Galaxy. Yep.
So at number 1 we have Super Mario More Galaxy. Yay, aka number 2. There's not much to say about this game, except for structurally it's better, maybe.
Yeah.
Like in level design.
For me, like, I know you said you grew up with Galaxy 1, I grew up with Galaxy 2, so...
Okay, yeah.
This was like the main game, this was like the main Mario game I played when I was growing up, and I've like, over the years, it's like, become my favourite. Like, that's one of the main reasons I want to put it at number 1, like, it's my favourite Mario game, but it's also my favourite Mario game of all time, so it's gonna be like...
hard to beat.
Yeah.
It's like, the game is like, I forgot what I was gonna say. Like, oh yeah, I don't own the game anymore, so it was the only game in this entire list I didn't play through.
Uh-huh.
But it's been not that long ago since I played it. It was about a year ago. And just to refresh my memory, I watched a streamer play through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can like remember all of it again very easily. And what I remember immediately is that a lot of the levels are way better in 1, especially the comet levels. Or comet stars.
Yeah, I enjoy a lot of the levels more in Galaxy 2 than I do Galaxy 1.
Also the power-ups. What the new power-ups in Galaxy 2 was the Cloud Mushroom and the Rock Mushroom, which are both fun to use. I know some people hate the Rock Mushroom, but I love it.
Cloud Mushroom's just overpowered, but it's very fun to use.
I don't think it is. It's maybe overpowered, but I love it when they challenge you in like when you get hit by an enemy, you lose all the power.
Yeah.
Which already makes it a challenge for me, at least. The thing I also like is that, again, the extra content there is. I don't like the green stars because they boot you out of the system. It felt very much like Mario 64 again.
Yeah, where some of them are like so easy to get as well.
Yeah, that's also why I think it'll probably be the game I'll never 100% finish, like compared like Sunshine, because there's just too much to do, and I don't think it's fun to get like all the blue coins or all the green stars.
Yeah, that's fair. I've never beat like 100% of Galaxy. I do kind of want to eventually, since it's one of the Mario games that I've never like, I would say 100%. I've played through it and beat it so many times, but I've never 100%ed it. So since I'm so familiar with it, I feel like it'd be a good game to go back and 100%, for me at least.
I did 100% complete Galaxy, and I did kind of 100% Galaxy 2. I did go all the coin stars and the normal stars, but I didn't get the green stars. So
yeah, I've never gotten the green stars in Galaxy 2 before.
I really want to get them because I really want to play the last difficult level.
Yeah.
What's it called? The impossible run.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect run. I've never played it, but I would like to try it.
Just looking at it, it makes me anxious.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a lot more difficult than like Champions Roads from 3D Worlds.
Yeah, and Odysseys. Also something like, is the extra like world you can see after you beat Bowser. There's some like the boss run, where I think you only have like have a set timer, which was extremely fun to do because it was so nostalgic playing all the Mario bosses again.
Oh yeah, the boss rush thing, I think it was called.
It was very fun to do that. What else was in that level? There were some recycled content, but I liked it the most of it.
Yeah.
Something, if I have to give a small critique, I don't like how level based it is.
Yeah, it's a lot more level based than Galaxy 1. I can agree with that.
Which I think is very stupid. Like, it doesn't annoy me fully to the point because the levels are so good, but I just like the option still, because there's still some levels that I don't like playing through.
Yeah, I know there's some split paths as well, just like 3D Worlds.
Yeah, there are some split paths, but I think like I can't remember there being 2 or 3. Like in the first world you have to do all, which you also had to do in Galaxy 2, and then in the second world there's a little bit more option, but you still have to kind of choose, which annoys me. I also just don't like how it looks. Like Galaxy 1, you have to go into a room, click on it, and then see this big world where you could choose whatever you want. But because it's like a level based, it makes it completely like it doesn't make sense in my head. Like how you can go from such a grandiose scale from just this like level based thing. Like I don't think the Galaxy is very level based. That's not what I think about.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Galaxy 1's a lot nicer rather than just moving along like it's not a mini map, but it's like moving along like a straight path. It's a lot nicer moving around, going into rooms, selecting the world rather than just holding right on the nunchuck.
Yeah. Something else I want to say is like I hate when people say that you can't play as Luigi. Can I just say something? Luigi sucks.
Yeah.
I never liked playing as Luigi in Galaxy 1 or 2.
I can't say the same. I'd say like I'm probably more used to playing as Mario since I've never really played as Luigi. Like when I went through and played 3D All-Stars, I unlocked Luigi, but I don't think I ever played as him since I'm like, oh, I've just beat the game. I'm probably not going to do it again until a bit later on, because I would just be doing the same thing again.
Yeah. I also just don't get. He's so slippery. It makes me annoying. It's just a small rant. I just hate when people are like fanboying all that.
He may be able to jump high, but he's also really slidey.
Yeah.
So he has his ups, he has his downs.
I mean, I don't know what to say because it is basically just Super Mario Galaxy DLC.
Yeah. One more thing is the final Bowser fight is a lot better in Galaxy 1. I do prefer Galaxy 1's the last Bowser fight.
I think it may be better like in scale and impression. Like it definitely, when I look at it, I feel like it's way more grandiose and feels like a big fight.
Yeah.
But it's very quick, easy. Like it's easy work. I like Galaxy 1 way more because of how the structure of the fight. Like you defeat him 3 different ways. First by him turning into a rock and hit him in a specific place. The second one where you use like green coconut balls to shoot him across, and then the final one where he jumps into a specific landing place. I think it's technically more fun to do the first Mario Galaxy one.
Yeah, definitely.
But I definitely get why people like the grandiose scale of the second Bowser fight.
Yeah, exactly. It's still fun. It's not bad. It's still a fun fight. It's just a bit easy.
But I also must admit, like I do like shake the controller Like, I still do it. I know that is an optional way of just pressing a button. But I love shaking the controller when hitting bows and all those things. Like, it feels way more satisfying than just pressing a button. For me, at least.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I do think that it's good that it's an optional. I hate when Nintendo is restricting what you can do or what you not can do. And the fact that there is an optional thing that what to do is pretty good. I don't like how using motion control to control like to get like the star bits.
Yeah, yeah.
I just wish it was. I just wish you could use like the left stick, not the right stick. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty good. Is like you could use it as you were like going into an auto flying bit. Just use the joystick to fly around. You use the joystick to move around and click the star bits as you were in like a automatic, like, what was it called? It's like the Luma star that you jump into and spin through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. That'd be a lot nicer.
I don't know how to what to add. I think we have gone through every game and discussed the highlights. It was a big journey.
Yes, it has been.
Okay, don't want to make it sound like it was that amazing. It was just, but it was fun. It was very fun to do. I was scared that it was gonna be very much just like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I like this.
Yeah.
Very opinionated, but I think we made some good points.
I think we did, yeah.
I hope people can respect their opinions, and also interested to see what you guys have to say.
Yes.
Tell me what your favorite Mario 3D game is, and what your least favorite is. And other than that, more importantly, when you're done watching this, please go and watch Mudkipp and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Okay, it's very good. He's I think he's a better YouTube creator than me because he actually uploads. You had to wait 6 months before I do anything. Sorry.
Yeah, I did go on a bit of a break at one point, but I think I'm back into a semi-schedule.
Well, please watch him. He's a very good. He also does ranking. What's the most recent video you did? You did a ranking of Mario.
That was the Bowser Castle tracks.
Yes, very good video. Please watch it.
That was the most that was the most recent one, but I have done the 8 Deluxe battle stages. That was fun.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me. It was very good to have you on once again.
Yes, thank you. It was fun to come on. Fun to rank the Mario games.
Thank you. Okay, but I'll see you guys next time, and bye bye.
Bye bye.